Potatoes. Can you survive on potatoes alone? Well, apparently you can for quite a bit. Guys, welcome to the channel, The Modern Survivalist. Remember that if you want to learn more about preparedness survival, you have the channel with a ton of information. I always recommend you get my books as well, Surviving the Economic Collapse, as well as Street Survival Skills. I talk about this quite a bit in these two books, especially, well, I guess in both, maybe more in a practical storage kind of way in this one, but quite a bit in Surviving the Economic Collapse too. That was an important part, you know, having the food supplies for when things were getting tough, when inflation and shortages and looting of supermarkets, things we've seen in Argentina when everything went down. So yeah, these are things that I've looked into, researched quite a bit, but there's always fascinating stuff to learn. Like, I was looking this up in terms of how long can you survive just with freaking potatoes? Potatoes? Yeah, popular science. That's a good one. Popular science. What is it that we have here? Well, yeah. Is there a single food that you can survive on forever? Potatoes are awesome, but not enough to live on forever. So the thing about potatoes, for all of 2016, Andrew Taylor ate only potatoes. There were a few caveats to his, and this is always the devil is in the detail. The caveat. There were a few caveats to the potato diet. He ate both white potatoes and sweet potatoes, and sometimes mixed potatoes with soy milk, tomato sauce. Right, so you have a combination there of micronutrients and salts and minerals and vitamins that you get from all of these. The sauce, if you throw a little bit of olive oil in there, it's probably going to be very good for you. He also took B12. So with vitamins, it's not just potatoes, but wait a minute. Let's stick to the potatoes things for a while. So yeah, this guy ate potatoes for quite a bit. I found this other dude. Where is this guy? Where is this potato guy? No, not that one. All potatoes. Putman. All potato diet 8 years later. So this guy, this is another one. This is another potato dude. 8 years eating potatoes. But also, right, here's the questions. How often do you still hear about all the potato diet? What was the goal? The whole purpose of the diet was to make a bold statement to show that there is so much nutrition in potatoes that you will live off them if you want. Literally, I just ate potatoes and nothing else. There's a few seasonings. No gravy, no butter, no sour cream, and just a little bit of oil for cooking. That was it. So in theory, this guy from the potato dude, there he is. It's been 8 years since Voigt, the executive director of the Washington State Potato Commission, embarked in his 20 potato a day diet. I mean, let's just believe the dude. I mean, and he didn't gain a whole lot of weight or anything. He stayed quite fit. If you do this, and yes, it's not as if you're eating sugar. You're just eating potatoes. I think the whole potato with the skin, that would be, the fiber, which is probably beneficial. But no wonder, if you have enough olive oil in that thing, you have enough things that you're supplementing it with. My cholesterol, I was kind of hoping alive at the end of 60, but actually it was healthier. I wasn't trying to lose weight, but I lost 21 pounds. Yeah, you're not eating shit. You're just eating potatoes and little things else, so as to have a balanced intake of minerals and vitamins, I guess. I lost 21 pounds, even though I was eating 2,002. Well, that's a nice balance. 2K calories. That's decent a day. My cholesterol went down to 67 points. My blood sugar would come down. The iron, calcium, protein, all of those either stay the same or got better. I always said there's no one single food that meets all of your nutritional needs. But if you're going to pick one, pick potatoes. So he had a little bit of seasoning, and that, again, especially if your seasoning also will include like olive oil, which is probably something that not a lot of fats in potatoes, but yeah, I guess you can. Sure. I mean, and it's not the only example. There's a number of other examples of people eating just one single food, and you can survive for a very long time. It is, are you going to lose minerals and vitamins? Yes, but you can survive a very long time. especially if you have any kind of vitamins, if you have a little bit of fruit and some of these amino acids. Well, first of all, it's not a good idea to only eat one kind of food. To survive, we need 20 amino acids, of which 9 are essential, meaning can't make them ourselves and must get as well as. But potatoes have those, apparently. Isn't the only person. Okay, guys, basically in a nutshell, eating only one thing, never a good idea. Have people survived for a very long time on a mostly one thing based diet? Yes, they have throughout history for entire generations. Now, the Irish famine, as you probably know, because they couldn't get their potatoes, well, it was not so much a famine, it was more of a genocide by the British Empire trying to get rid of those nasty Irish. That's a topic for another conversation. But it is very much true that those guys survive mostly on a steady diet of potatoes and very, very little else. Some supplementation with some other things, maybe a little bit of meat every once in a while, maybe a little bit of this or that. All of that helps in getting those extra minerals, all of those extra vitamins. It's not just, oh, I'm just seasoning my potatoes with a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But very strong 90% potato diet, and you have vitamins, you're going to be living for many years. No doubt about that whatsoever. Same goes for eating rice. Asia survives on rice, especially up until very recently. Now with a more modern diet, things have changed a little bit here and there, but mostly white rice. You can survive for a long ass time on white rice alone and little else. That is entirely possible. It is done all the time. White rice combined with beans, hell, that is going to be even better. White rice with lentils. White rice with lentils on their own, those two things on will probably keep you alive for years. Will you have the best balance of micronutrient, minerals, and vitamins? Maybe not. Ideally, you would have some big jugs of vitamins to supplement whatever stockpile you have. But the idea is stockpile. The other thing I'd like you to consider is, if I have a ton of whatever it is I have a ton of, I can also barter or trade with someone else. Hey, you don't have anything to eat. I have a ton of potatoes. You have a little bit of something else. Well, I'll give you a bag of my potatoes or an X amount of my food, and we can trade so as to not get bored with whatever we're eating. There is something to be said about certain foods that are clearly better suited at this sort of thing, right? Could you survive on just one food? Well, potatoes also being brought up. Potatoes. I wouldn't want to be surviving on this shit alone. No way. But not as many as potatoes. Avocados are packed with nutrients, but not as many as potatoes. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel, and yeah, have a stockpile of food. There's certain things that are definitely, and it is potatoes, it is white rice, pasta, surprisingly good too, especially if you learn how to supplement it with vitamins, minerals, and things that are maybe even possible to get through some of your own gardening or having a small orchard of your own, right, to grow a few things or barter for something else that you may end up needing. See you in a later video, guys. Take care.